Hey, what's up guys, it's Oakley, and we're going to be back to Total War Warhammer. It's going to be an online multiplayer battle with two of us as Chaos here. I decided to bring two of the Hell Cannons, and they're going to be firing away at the opposing force, which is actually a combined Greenskin and Empire army. And this is going to be kind of a more casual battle. As you'll notice, our opponents are not super well organized. Already here, you can usually tell who's a newer player just because of the disposition of their troops and the fact that in the face of artillery fire, they're going to be formed up in massive clusters. So, like I said, this is going to be a more casual battle where we're just going to be able to sit back, relax, and chit-chat maybe a little bit. So I'm getting some monstrous, crazy hits on these forces. The Greenskin player, oh my god, this is painful for anyone who's a Greenskin fan. But anyways, they have a couple little spider riders moving forward, and we have two exalted heroes on these manticores, essentially. And just, yeah, a couple spider riders shooting away here and there, but we are just chasing them away. Two flying heroes with an additional, I think this is a Shaggoth Great, oh no, this is Kolek Suneater, actually, himself, charging forward. So yeah, we're having a heck of a time here. Chaos usually ends up being a bit underpowered, so it's nice to see them just tear into forces like this. There is still a bit of a hero spam problem in Total War Warhammer, so I'm excited to see what the next patch is. See, it's been pretty quiet as of late, so we haven't heard too much on that front, but I do hope that more news from them is going to be incoming in terms of new units. Presumably, they have said that they're going to be covering the entirety of the tabletop faction roster, so hopefully more stuff drops soon. An easy one would be Bretonnia. People have been waiting for that for a while, and they're actually expecting it before Beastmen. So maybe we'll be seeing something come out with Bretonnia. And a lot of the people online that I've been seeing are theorizing that it's going to be kind of a dual release of both Bretonnia and the Wood Elves, pairing them together, which I think would be pretty awesome. We haven't seen any anything really like the skirmish or high elite faction like the Wood Elves. It would be really cool to see. Definitely add a lot more uniqueness to it. On the Warhammer front, I haven't been playing too much lately as of yet. I think you guys have been seeing a bit more of a trend towards, man, look at all the fire coming in at my Hell Cannon here. He's taking shots from Doom Divers who are coming in, although they're missing, and then cannons also firing. But what I was trying to say actually is I haven't been playing too much multiplayer battles in Total War Warhammer. A lot of it is what you've been seeing as of late, which was a bit of an emphasis on Total War history documentaries, which is kind of what I think truly makes this channel unique. It's what I really enjoy doing. I really like multiplayer, but something about just producing something as unique and in-depth as that really gives me a lot of joy, and it's definitely getting a lot of good results. So for instance, when I recently came out with the Siege of Masada one, that got a lot of cool replies, and it was a great opportunity. Basically, with every documentary I seek to improve my process. I try different things. What you saw previously is when I was doing the naval battles, sort of when I got to the Battle of Ignomus, I changed up my style a little bit. I tried investing in some new stuff from After Effects. Man, these magic abilities look so cool. But yeah, my documentaries, like I said, I try and improve with each iteration. So with Battle of Ignomus, I invested in some new, cool, sleeker animations for my battlefield text. It looked really great. And with Masada, I took that to the next step. I then added on a couple more effects on the campaign map, representations and animations for burning villages to represent an army moving through the campaign map, and I think that's going to be really important for telling history stories, because a lot of the times, like, Masada isn't even like a battlefield in the game, and I was at first really at a loss, I should say, as to how to represent that battle. But with the new improvements, I'm able to cover a lot more stuff. You saw that I resorted to drone footage to cover the Battle of Masada, which was really, really awesome. I think you guys appreciated that. I had some cool graphics to show like the cross-section of a siege ramp. So that's the kind of innovations that I'm pushing with each new title, and it's going to open the door up for a lot of future things that I can pull off. Let's go ahead and pan over here. As we can see, the Greenskin front ranks starting to crumble. and pull back as the main Chaos Assault just runs over here. Empire forces are going to try and hold this storm of chaos at bay, but it's not looking like it's going to be very fruitful. I mean, they have some of their cannons up front getting butchered, and then heroes watching from overhead. So yeah, this is not going to go very well for them. On the right flank is where I'm pushing in pretty well with a lot of my heroes. I have a Kolek and a Dragon Ogre there beating up, and then also a Chariot coming in to beat up on some more infantry. Chosen warriors sweeping around the right flank. So pretty awesome battle, but still pretty casual. The opponents, as you saw in the beginning, not very skilled. But back to what I was saying with the documentaries. Yeah, each and every documentary I try and improve, and I think it's definitely opened up the possibilities. I think Masada was kind of a big breaking point for me, in that it really showed me that, hey, I can cover battles that, you know, aren't even in Total War Rome 2. I mean, I built a map and was able to represent a siege of Masada just by using other methods, and so that really opens up the door for other battles that we can do, and so I'm going to try and pursue a bit more of that. Now, I have been kind of hinting at other secret projects that I have working in the background. So right now I do basic historical documentaries on classical periods, so Roman history, and there's a lot of Roman history. I want to cover a lot to it. There's also the fact that I have not made part 2 in my The Legions of Rome series, which I'm definitely going to get to, and so don't worry. So there's definitely a lot more for me to do when it comes to Rome 2, or Roman content. But I do at the same time want to spread out and cover more types of content. So expect to see that soon. So what are we talking about in terms of scope and scale? Well, one thing that I'm going to be investing in is ways for me to cover stuff that isn't particularly in Total War. So what that means is I want to start representing battles a bit more from just essentially this perspective. I want to be able to cover more battles from a top-down approach, and so I'm investing in some custom animations from a guy actually in Russia who I'm talking to, who's going to be able to make some cool above you know, bird's eye view animations to represent battlefields. So that'll allow me to cover a bit more topics. I'm also going to have some custom animations so that when, you know, if we're looking from the top down, and if I'm trying to represent a battle with kind of blocks moving around, he's going to help me create animations for blocks, you know, blood splurts on blocks to represent, you know, if 2 blocks hit each other, for me to represent, you know, a right flank, then I can have animations for blood. Or archers firing and hitting other blocks, trying to make that more interesting. What I can also do is start to abstract that a little bit. He can help make it so that it looks like blocks are shooting at each other. We can get wisps of smoke, we can get cannon shots, we can get explosions. And so that's going to start to open up the doors in terms of other content past the classical period. Maybe if I want to do stuff with gunpowder, then that's a possibility. People have recommended that I do perhaps Civil War content, Napoleonic content, and by Civil War I mean the US Civil War, but also anything that involves gunpowder in history. So that's kind of what I'm hinting at in terms of future documentary content. So I think the world is bright. I think there's a lot more cool stuff that I can do. So look forward to that. On top of that, you know, that sounds pretty ambitious, but on top of that, I have even more ambitious stuff that is completely secret. Only a couple people know about it, that I'm working on the side, and it's an expansion, a further expansion. It's still documentaries, but it's going to expand the scope even further than what has been done thus far. So, oh, I actually didn't notice Sigvald here is in this battle. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so I'm going to again drop another teaser here saying that my documentaries are going to expand past just Rome, and let's leave it at they're going to expand past just history. Think fantasy. And I would say I did a little test run when it came to Total War Warhammer, but my scope for fantasy is not just going to be Warhammer. I'm building out a lot of stuff behind the scenes where you're going to be seeing some pretty awesome documentaries at lore stuff. And I don't want to hint too much of it more than here, but I think you guys are going to be really happy with the results. So anyways, that's it for this battle. I know we didn't focus too much on the battle itself. It was kind of eye candy for a general discussion of where things stand. I also want to let you guys know that I will be heading out this weekend. I'm going to be going back home, so the videos that you'll be seeing popping up are pre-recorded I'm just going to be going home and kind of chilling for a little bit. As an update, for those of you who don't know kind of what my status is, well, I graduated from college a little over a year ago, and now I'm working full-time. I'm a design engineer at a company that does power plants. So I do that, and in particular we do solar power plants. So I'm a design engineer for solar power plants, which is really awesome. So that's kind of my background, and I'm over on the West Coast. I'm going to be going back this weekend to the East Coast, where I'm from originally, and yeah, going to chill for a while. So that's kind of it. I just wanted to give you a brief update. And yeah, stay tuned for more online battles, and definitely stay tuned for more historical documentaries, and in the not too distant future, this really cool non-historical documentary series that I'll be working on. So let's end the replay, take a look at some of the final stats that you can see here, and yeah, pretty cool all around. I was happy to see Chaos win. Yes, the enemy was kind of a pushover, but even though it's still fun to see Chaos win, they don't often do that. My ally here deployed with a lot of heroes, 2 exalted heroes getting a fair amount of kills, the rest of his troops not doing super well. Actually, his heroes doing the most of the damage, and actually Chaos Warriors as well, with 1 Chaos Warrior with Halberd. My own forces, most of the kills due to the Hell Cannon and Chaos Spawn. The Spawn got in on the enemy gunners, tore them to shreds. The other supporting troops did fairly well, and then you have Kolek Sun Eater here. He was tanking it out, smashing Black Orcs left and right, so that was really cool to see. The enemy force not doing super well. Empire, yeah, pretty pitiful. Demigryphs always doing well. I mean, even in the hands of a novice player, they're going to get you a fair amount of kills. So that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, stay tuned for more. See you in the next one. Peace out.